His partner, Abe Lieberman, Bill had slowly, shakily come through it, still carrying guilt. Now the divorce from Maureen was complete, and Bill Hanrahan hoped and expected to marry Iris Chen in a few months. He was also slowly, and with some caution, returning to the church. The assignment he was on was Captain Kearney's way of giving Hanrahan a few days away from the city, away from the reminders of the past. It was early October, a bit cold for fall in Ohio. Hanrahan had watched the Weather Channel and was prepared with the zippered lined jacket Iris had given him. The job was simple, even boring. He sat in the car he had rented, heater on low, radio on an oldies station he had found by pushing the right button. The Beatles were singing Help. Hanrahan was a burly man who looked like a cop and didn't find it easy to hide, but that wasn't a problem on this one. Back in Chicago, a mob witness, an accountant named Mickey Gornitz, had agreed to talk about his boss's highly illegal operation, but only to Hanrahan's partner, Abe Lieberman, with whom Gornitz had gone to Marshall High School. No surprise. Abe was easy to talk to, and Abe and his brother had been basketball stars in a basketball school. Articles had been written about the brothers, who were both starting guards on the same team, a team that won the city championship the 3 years they played. Besides talking to Lieberman, Gornitz had several conditions. One was that his ex-wife and his 17-year-old son should be protected until Mickey finished testifying and went into witness protection. The assistant Cook County state attorney didn't think it was necessary. Gornitz hadn't seen his wife or son in 15 years when she had walked out on him, changed her name and the boys, and moved to Boston. Mickey hadn't spoken to either his son or his ex-wife since they went out the door, but he had sent her money. Plenty of it. The assistant state attorney gave in. This was a big case, and watching a couple of people humoring his witness was a small price to pay. A Boston cop named Persky, weary and yawning, had come on the flight to Cleveland from Boston with Gornitz's ex and the kid. They didn't know he was there. Persky knew a Chicago cop was going to take over, and he had found Hanrahan waiting for him when the crowd came off the plane. Hanrahan had shown the man his ID, but Persky had waved it away, saying, "They're yours. I'm heading for the bar. Got a plane back home in about an hour." So they were Hanrahan's. He had a recent photograph of the woman and the boy. They were easy to spot. She was about Hanrahan's age, in good shape, not bad-looking, if a little hard around the edges and a little loud. The kid was little, thin, and wore a gray sports jacket, tie, and slacks. His hair was dark and combed straight back. He was wearing glasses and looked like a classic case of what Lieberman's grandson called the nerds. Hanrahan had done his footwork before they arrived. The Boston and Cleveland police had helped. The mother and son had a rental car waiting. They were on their way for a trip to 4 colleges in Ohio that were all interested in the boy, who was a straight-A student with an interest in computers and theoretical mathematics. Hanrahan had their itinerary from the Boston police and had made reservations at the same motels as the mother, Louise Firth, and her son, Matthew. No trouble. They would make their rounds in 3 days, wind up at a motel in Dayton near the airport, and catch a plane back to Boston where Persky or someone would be there to meet them. It was almost a mini-vacation on the state of Illinois. Football on television at night with his shoes off, dinner watching the mother and son at a table discreetly far away, back to bed and early to rise, providing mom and son didn't decide to take in a movie. Hanrahan followed the pair in front of him to baggage claim. He had only a carry-on. A skycap helped the woman and boy to the Hertz minibus, and Hanrahan got back to his rented car parked illegally at the curb and followed them. Now he